Hello everyone. So in the last session we studied about the DNA, chemical composition of DNA, structure of DNA, and we had an introduction about the DNA, the base pairs related concepts, that also we completed. So in this session we are going to study about the packaging of DNA helix, how the DNA packaged in the nucleus. So we studied about the nucleus, right? In the class 11 itself, a cell and a nucleus. In the nucleus, a thread-like structure is present. It is nothing but DNA. Before going to the DNA, I would like to tell about this. This is nothing but chromatid fibers. So at the cell division, they came to an exact position or exact shape. So those are nothing but chromosomes. We finished all these concepts in the class 11 itself, right? So before going to this concept, it is necessary to know how such a long DNA or how such a long chromatin fibers they packed in the nucleus. As you know, cell is a tiny structure. It is very small structure, and in this tiny structure, nucleus is very much tiny. It is very much small. In that nucleus, how the chromosomes, how the chromatin fibers, they packed itself and it is present in the nucleus. So how they packed around itself and how it fitted in the nucleus, that we are going to study. The concept is packaging of DNA helix. Alright, so before going to the DNA, again I will come back to this chromosomes. Before going to the cell division, so before the cell divide itself, the chromosomes are in the form of, how it will be a very long and very thin thread-like structure. And on the chromatin fibers, you might have seen small dots are present on the chromatin fibers, right? So this is how the chromosomes or chromatin fibers, it will be before the cell division. Or if the cell about to divide, it has to undergo the G1 phase and G2 phase and then S phase and then prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. Later on, it takes the cytokinesis, cell division, or the cytoplasm divides. So here I am talking about the structure, the chromatin fibers, or these structures, they very beautifully, compactly packed with itself. Some materials are there, some protein materials are there, I will tell you in detail. So they beautifully packed in the nucleus. How they get packed, on what it get wrapped around itself. So all these things we'll study. The single or the human genome base pairs, it is about, in the before last session we studied about the base pairs and the nucleotides. In the Escherichia coli, how many base pairs are present. In lambda bacteriophage, how many base pairs are present. In Phi 174 bacteriophage, how many nucleotides are present. All those we studied. No, with three examples. I told you one more example, that is related to human genome. In haploid human genome, how many base pairs were there? There were 3.3 into 10 to the power of 9, right? 9, like 3 billion base pairs are present. Okay, and the distance between two consecutive base pairs are 3.4 angstrom. Okay, two consecutive base pairs means in the DNA, in the last sessions we studied, two consecutive base pairs means this is one base pair and this is the next base pair. Between these two base pair, what is the distance? The distance is 3.4 angstrom. And how many base pairs are present in human genome? Say haploid human genome, it is 3 billion. So by the calculation of these two, the scientists measure the length of the DNA. A single or the DNA length is about 2.2 meter. What actually it is? This is the length of DNA helix. A single DNA helix measures 2.2 meters. How they calculated? They calculated based on the measurement of two consecutive base pairs that is 3.4 angstrom, and they took one more data, which is the human genome base pairs. How many how many base pairs are present in human genome? So those data they calculated and they got this measurement. So now one single DNA helix is 2.2 meters length. Just imagine how many DNA helix are there, how finely, compactly packed in the nucleus. So those are about that description we are learning in a separate concept, that is packaging of DNA helix, that comes under molecular basis of inheritance. So look at this, just observe this. If you miss any of the point, you won't get. So packaging of DNA helix, here the chromatin fibers, I am talking about the chromatin fibers here. Okay, so the chromatin fibers, it has repeated thickenings are present. Like for example, this is one chromatin fiber. So what I am talking here, it has repeated thickenings. One thickening, one more thickening, one more thickening, like that. So many thickenings are present. This thickening is nothing but nucleosome. What is that nucleosome? What will be there in the nucleosome? The nucleosome is made of, or it consists of 4 histone protein and DNA. 4 histone protein and DNA. What is this? These are present in the nucleosome. What is nucleosome? Nucleosomes are nothing but the thickening which is present in the chromatin fibers. Why the thickenings are present in the chromatin fibers? Because chromatin fiber is such a long structure. To maintain its length to get packed in the nucleus, such a tiny nucleus, it has to get wrapped around some protein. So those concepts or those description we are studying in the packaging of DNA helix. Alright, so here what we are talking about here, we are talking about the nucleosome. So I'll put the headline in the form of, or in the name of, nucleosome. The nucleosome, it is of 4 histone, or it has 4 histone and DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. So these 4 histone, with this 4 histone, it has or it is made of lysine and arginine amino acids. As I told you, this is the protein. These protein are made of lysine and arginine amino acids. What are those 4 histones? 4 histone proteins are known as H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. We have 4 histones here, but these 4 are 2 in number. Like H2A molecules are 2 in number, these are 2 in number, H3A is of 2 in number, H4 is in 2 in number. Total we get 8 histone proteins. So in the in theory we used to call this as histone octamer. Histone octamer. Why it is histone octamer? Because histone proteins are 8 in number. That's why we are going to call this as histone octamer. Where it is present? It is present in the nucleosome. With the histone octamer, DNA is also present. Earlier I told 4 histones. 4 histones are 2 in number or double. The number of histone proteins are double in nature. That's why in total histone proteins are total histone molecules are 8 in number. That's why it becomes histone octamer. Okay, so it is made up of lysine and arginine amino acids. So if we study the structure of histone octamer, 4 histone molecules. Alright, 4 more we have to draw, no? So those will be beside to this or beneath to this, behind this. 4 histone like H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. Every protein molecule has one more protein molecule of the same copy behind to this. Alright. Now this is all about the histone octamer. We have histone octamer, but it is necessary to study the structure of nucleosome. What is there in the nucleosome? In the nucleosome, histones are present and DNA is present. We already drawn the structure of histones. But where will be the DNA? The DNA will be, it get wrapped around the histone proteins. How it get wrapped? It takes 1/3/4 turn around the histone octamer. 1/4. In your book they have given the diagram like this. They have given one molecule they have drawn and they have taken the DNA strands like this and they have given one structure beside to the histone octamer like this. I'll explain this diagram also. Before explaining that structure, let me explain by taking or by drawing this diagram, because in this diagram we can easily identify what actually is going. It is there in the nucleosome. In the nucleosome, as I told you, 4 proteins. Behind to this, 4 more proteins. The DNA strand, it wrapped or it take 1/3/4 turn. 1/3/4 turn means, suppose one DNA strand is coming from this way. Suppose this is the 4 histone octamer or 4 plus 4, 8 histone octamer or 8 histone protein. Suppose if the strand is coming in this way, it will wrap complete, it will take 1 turn. Okay, so if it comes to this level or to this end, we can call it as 1.5 turn, we can call it as, right. But again it come little bit above a few more few turn, or it takes again it comes to this end and it gets separate. So this will become 1/3/4 turn around the histone protein. So 1/3/4 turn around the histone protein. So are you following me? One turn, one more turn, and get separation. So in total the DNA is taking 1/3/4 turn around the histone proteins. In every what is that side, like suppose we have a chromatin fibers, it is like this. Here histone octamer is present, the DNA it helical, it wrapped around the octamers, it takes 1/3/4 turn, okay, and then it separates. Again 4 more histone octamers, 8 histones proteins are present. Again it coiled or wrapped around the histone octamer and it takes 1/3/4 turn, again it separates. So because of this we can observe like thickening on the chromatin fibers. In the electron micrograph or in the electron microscope, if we observe the chromosomes in the cell, we find strings on a bead like structure. So beads on a string like structure. So this visibility is because of the presence of histone octamer DNA structure, histone octamer DNA strand, histone octamer DNA strand. So because of that it is available, or it is visible in the form of beads on a string. Alright, so coming back to this structure again, suppose if you are coiling or if you are wrapping one thread around a ball, what will happen? If you leave that thread, it will become open, right? So that is all, the same thing is going to happen in the DNA structure also, or in the histone octamers also. To hold the DNA strand firmly, it has one clamp like structure, or one protein is present. That protein is H1 protein, which holds the DNA strand and histone octamer. Okay, so this clamp like structure or clamp H1 protein which is holding the DNA strand and octamer, this is not the heritable product. It is not going to the generation next to the next generation. It will be there in the nucleoplasm itself, but what it is doing, it is just holding this, what is this, the DNA strand and to the octamer, so that it firmly holds the, or it firmly wrapped around the histone octamer. So one more thing I should tell here, what will happen if the chromosomes comes or it attains a exact shape, like if the chromosome attains like this structure, where the histone octamers will go? So the histone octamers condense itself. It will become condensed in the nucleoplasm, and when it separates again, after the 4 stages, after the completion of 4 stages of cell division, again it get separate or it get liberate in the nucleoplasm. Again that condensed histone octamers come back to the real position. Those chromatin fibers wrapped around the histone octamer, and it is or it visibles like a bits on a string like structure. In your syllabus or in the NCERT book, they have given like this type of structure. So consider this as a histone octamer or histone protein, and this as a H1 protein, or it is acting like a clamp which is holding the DNA strand and octamer, histone octamer. Okay, and this is the DNA strands. One more thing I should tell here, the DNA strand which is wrapped around the histone octamer, it has 146 base pairs, and that DNA is known as core DNA. Core DNA. Alright, so the DNA strand which is wrapped around the histone octamer, that DNA strand, this DNA strand is known as core DNA, and it is having 146 base pairs. You know what is base pair. And the DNA which is leaving this histone octamer, like this is the DNA strand which is not connected to the histone octamer, and this is also a DNA strand which is not holding to the, or which is not get wrapped to the histone octamer. These two strands are known as, or I am going to label here, linker DNA, and it has 60 base pairs. Here what we are having, the DNA strand. In this DNA strand 146 base pairs are present, and this DNA strand is known as core DNA, and the strand which is not wrapped to the histone octamer, those DNAs are known as linker DNA, and it has 60 base pairs. And one more clamp we talked about, no. So this clamp which holds the DNA strand and octamer. So at the time of cell division, or at the time of cell separation, when the chromosomes attains this structure, the octamers get condensed itself. Alright, so that's all about the packaging of DNA helix. Alright, so in the next session we'll move on to the search of genetic material, how the DNA get searched in the different living organism, how it inherit from one living organism to one more living organism. So based on that we have 2 experiments. We'll learn about all those concepts in the next class.